Hello BookTube, welcome back to another Friday Reads video. I kind of skipped last week because I didn't really make any further progress with my reading and there wasn't really much to discuss, so I kind of let it slide. But anyway, I have progressed a little bit, reading a few different things here. There's going to be a little bit of a video clip tagged on at the end of this one because it's something I already filmed, but I wanted to add it to the Friday Reads video. But in terms of what I have finished reading, I finished the audiobook of Our Hideous Progeny by C.E. McGill. This is their debut novel, came out a year ago, and it's kind of in the realm of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It kind of continues with that story with our main character, Mary Sutherland. She's the great niece of Victor Frankenstein. She's married to Henry, he's a geologist. She herself is fascinated by all things science, particularly paleontology, after she's seen like these dinosaur sculptures at the Crystal Palace. She questions the validity of the research that went into that, whether those are correct or not, and all this stuff. But being a woman in the 1850s, it tried to get into the scientific community is nearly impossible. And same thing for Henry too. He has a lot of controversial opinions about things that kind of rub the wrong way. So a lot of like the scientific communities are kind of shunning him as well. So between the two of them, their ambition is great, but they have no backing for any kind of research, and things aren't looking too great. She, Mary had always thought by now she'd have, a nice home and family life and a scientific kind of career, and it's just not happening. And then one day she stumbles upon her great uncle's paperwork, Victor Frankenstein, and discovers what he created. And between her and Henry, they decide to try and maybe reproduce what he did. Now, going in, I thought this was going to be something along the lines more of that kind of, monster creation and stuff and running rampage and whatever. It was nothing like that. It's much slower pace. It's much more focused on our main characters in terms of Mary and Henry's sister, Maisie, and Maisie's relationship with Mary. And then there's another character who kind of comes in and tries to steal a lot of the research. Henry's kind of under his thumb for money, and this guy's kind of like needling his way into their research and taking over. And it was good, but slow, a lot of slow pace. There's sometimes where it was really slow, and then it kind of ramps up at another part near the end. When things kind of take a turn for the worse for both Henry and Mary. But it was still good. It was, I still enjoyed it. Like, it just wasn't going in what I thought it was going to be. But anyway, so that was my audiobook I finished. So when I finished that one, I was looking for something else to start listening to. And working at the bookstore, I have this one customer. She's a regular, and she's always kind of gets on these kicks of different things she's reading. Right now she's reading a lot of World War II fiction. And I recommended a couple titles, and she picked up one, and I'm thinking, I've always wanted to read this. I've never gotten around to it. So I decided I would listen to it as an audiobook. So that is The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. And I wasn't aware of it. It even literally says at the bottom, based on the powerful true story of love and survival. So it is the story of Layla, did I pronounce it correctly? Layla Sokolov? Shoot. Hopefully I got that correct. Anyway, he becomes the tattooist of Auschwitz. He's a Slovakian Jew who, during the Nazi occupation is sent to Auschwitz-Birkenau, and through some weird quirk of fate ends up becoming a tattooist or tatoviera, as it's referred to. And while there, sees a woman in the camp named Gita. And this is sort of the story of their survival, their struggles while at Auschwitz and their lives during that time. Like I said, I was not aware that this was actually based on a true story. I thought it was just a World War II fiction, but it's been very moving so far, and it's hard to say you're enjoying it, but it is very well written. I'm continuing to read The Book Eaters. This is by Sun Yidin, and that I'm technically on page 88, but like I said, I was having a hard time just dragging this thing around and reading it, and at work trying to hold it open. So yeah, I caved, and I did end up downloading it to my Kindle, and so I've been kind of reading along on that. Other than that, coming up will be the little clip of the other thing I finished reading recently. And yeah, let me know what you guys are reading. Just watching, we get some snow flurries here today. I'm hoping that ends soon. One of those late April snows we get from time to time. Hopefully I don't build another snowman like I have in the past. Anyway, so see you guys later. Well, I finished my first manga of the year, and it's quite a chunkster. I saw this at work, so there's still a sticker on it, but when I saw the title, I thought, is that what I think it is? And it was. It's The Walking Cat. Yes, as in The Walking Dead, but this is a cat's eye view of the zombie apocalypse. And it's by Tomo Kitaoka. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It says it's a 3-volume tale collected in one complete omnibus. Not particularly, on Team Cat, as you know, I'm Team Dog here. But, I was curious. It's, like anything zombie-ish. Cute-ish cat, I guess. Pretty decent illustrations throughout. Nothing really fantastic. Story-wise, pretty light on story, too. There are some pages where you can see there's not a whole lot of dialogue, being from the cat's point of view, in quite often. But, I mean, it is focused on other characters within the story and basically people that the cat encounters. Sometimes saving the humans, sometimes the humans save the cat. It begins with a chapter called What Was I Thinking? And pretty much ends with that same phrase. It felt, even though it says it's complete in one omnibus, it feels like there's no actual ending. It was just left like, okay, what did I just read? And it didn't take long to get through this. Probably a good hour tops. You could whip your way through it. Overall, I mean, just like about a 2-star kind of manga. Some moving points with the beginning character, but then the rest was just sort of like, I don't know. But I don't want to read a whole lot of manga this year. Not that I dislike, obviously, I read a lot of manga. I think I want to focus on other books this year. So I will delve into some manga from time to time if I come across something, but I kind of want to focus more on actual novels and literary fiction or mysteries or whatever, as opposed to the increased number of books I get through being mostly manga. So anyway, if anybody read this one, let me know. Oh, and just a quick update on my Flintstone puzzle. So there's what I've gotten done so far, and you'll notice, if you saw the last video, I found the end pieces. So I now have all the edges. Yay! I was really worried those were missing. But yeah, it's coming along really nicely. There's a big section of like black and white areas over here that I think are going to be the hardest, so I haven't really done much. Another black and white area over here. But we got Dino. Dino's all intact now. Yeah, it's coming along really good. Really enjoying it.